Will it be Mo Salah, Mo problem for Liverpool on Sunday? That was terrible, wasn't it?
Awful, mate, awful.
Liverpool visit AFC Bournemouth at Dean Court. It's a 4:30 kickoff and it's live on Sky. Welcome to the big match preview of a Super Sunday at Dean Court. This is Back of the Net. We're an AFC Bournemouth fan channel. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
Look, we've played Jurgen Klopp's men twice this season already. There were limbs in Liverpool as Antoine Semenyo opened the scoring in Merseyside, but 3 goals, including one from superb Salah, secured the win for the Reds. This time though, Mo is missing and Antoine is out. So what does this mean for the Cherries, and who else from the league leaders will also not be travelling down that could be a significant miss for the Reds? Of course, we played them in the League Cup as well, Tom,
We did.
and that was a close encounter, but Darwin the Destroyer, he rocked up. And after seemingly miscontrolling the ball, he fired in a worldie of a shot, which was, I think Radu was in goal for us, wasn't he?
Yeah, Radu. I remember at that moment going, "Hey," when he miscontrolled it, and then he put it top bins, fair play to him. But yeah, and you look at the Carabao Cup since, and you think, oh, if we played well in that game, we were close, because you look at the little run they've had since, and they were winnable games for us. So yeah, they probably, well, you would say now they're the big favourites for that tournament. So
yeah, well, they're 2-1 up over Fulham, of course. They won at home.
Middlesbrough.
Exactly. They've got to go to Craven Cottage and finish the job. I think they probably will earn another League Cup spot yet again. But as a whole, Tom, having a good season, aren't they? They're top of the league. They're doing well in the Cups, top of the Europa group as well. Plus, for me, it seems like they've come out the other side of their transition pretty well. I thought this was going to be another transitional season. The league table shows it's probably not.
Yeah, I agree. I think that them and their supporters would have thought, let's just get top 4, do well in the Europa League. But, you know, we're having to kind of rejig that midfield in particular. Obviously, people like your Hendersons, Milner and that have gone. And they were bringing in Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai. And you thought, okay, it might take a little bit of time. And weirdly, I think it is. But they're top of the league.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they've hit their full levels yet.
No.
So that's exciting for Liverpool. And at the moment, I think it's really tight to call, probably between them and City with Arsenal drifting. But there'll be twists and turns, mate. But yeah, let's see how they cope without Salah for this little period, because he's been hitting the numbers as he always does. But they're in a good spot, mate. They're in a really good spot. You've got to fancy them for the Europa League as well. So yeah, they're in a good place, mate.
You may have noticed we're in a different location this week. We are at the Broadway on Castle Lane West, not far from Castle Point, but more importantly, not far from Dean Court as well. Look, you may be able to see the snooker on the TV in the background. Tom has been glued to the screen. No, that's not the type of ball sport he likes. Have you been here before though, Tom?
I have, but not for a while actually. I like it in here. It's bigger than I thought. Very, very spacious. So yeah, nice pub, mate. Really, really nice.
And with 2024 upon us, that means a packed schedule of football, the FA Cup, AFCON, and of course, Premier League action.
Yeah, beat the January Blues and watch every game with the atmosphere it deserves down at your local Green King Sports Pub.
Yeah, don't settle for a dodgy stream, because if it's on the telly, as is Sunday's game, it's on at your local Green King Sport Pub across their huge HD screens. And it is HD, by the way.
Oh, it is. And if you download the Green King Sports app, you'll receive 10% off every single drink whenever there's a game on.
And if you play Score King as well, they might chuck you an extra freebie like I've got this week.
We done well last week, didn't we?
Their venues offer a range of low and no alcohol options as well. So dry January doesn't mean you have to settle for a worse sports watching experience. And Tom, look, we've been missing football massively. I've been watching AFCON. I've been taking in any type of football I can, whether it's on TV or on a YouTube stream on Wednesday night when AFC Bournemouth's under-18s travelled to Newcastle.
What a
mate,
win.
5-0. What on earth?
I was gutted to miss it, mate. I was playing myself, getting a W myself, mate, on a Wednesday night, but saw it and I thought, blimey, they Cat 1. And they've been there for a while, and we were only just Cat 2. Really, really impressive. So yeah, it's great to see things like that, because you know you feel like you're not too close to it a lot of the time, and when there's a stream on and you think, oh, this is their opportunity, brilliant. And was it Johnny Suttle who got the hat trick?
Yeah, superb hat trick.
Getting it in.
One of his goals was very similar to one that I once scored. We can't show the Johnny Suttle goal, but there is a clip of me putting in a worldie of a finish, which was not unlike him, but alas, they're actually fifth in the northern section in the under-18s Premier League at the moment. Like you say, Cat 1, we've only just turned Cat 2, like you say, so an incredible achievement.
Yeah.
And if you've just come across Back of the Net, maybe you're a Liverpool fan, it would be an incredible achievement for you if you could do a couple of things. We'll ask you to do them in a sec, because this weekend, there's plenty of content on the way.
Oh, loads,
including?
man. Yeah, we'll have a fan cam straight after the game. That'll be out on Sunday night. The vlog will come Monday morning.
Yeah.
Everything that you saw in the game will be on it. Deep dive in our second look, mate. Dissect it a little bit more, the victory from Chess.
Very true. And also, look, it's been a bit of a dishevelled Premier League programme, so no Premier League show coming up. Instead, we'll be straight into our preview action. Of course, we got a Thursday night game because it's being televised on S4C.
Right, can I just... Right, so we've had to play on a Thursday night because it's on Welsh TV.
Yeah.
Because in an English tournament. Why are they with us?
People who watch Pobly Cwm in Wales will be very unhappy. Do you know what that is?
I ain't got a
People
clue,
of the
don't
Valley.
care.
It's basically their Coronation Street, but it's being moved to show the mighty AFCB. So look, there's two things you can do.
Yeah, click like, click subscribe. There's a furble actually. If you click the little bell, then you'll know when all their videos are out. So yeah, I really appreciate that. And as you say, mate, the content's got to start to flow now because it feels like I've had a little bit of a break that's felt longer than it should. I think because the last game was Cup, so it's been a long time since a league game, hasn't it, really? So yeah, as you say, mate, just been getting stuck into AFCON and all that stuff. You know what I'm like?
Go on.
I pick a team that I...
Oh, who have you picked?
I do it randomly generated. I've done it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And that's my team now I have to support in AFCON. And since I picked them a couple of years ago, they've never won a game. Namibia. They won their first ever game at
That was
AFCON.
limbs in your
Absolutely
household.
limbs, mate. So yeah, I'm flying now. I'm on a good run.
Well, look, we've seen video footage of our two miserable encounters against Liverpool this season, but shall we remind ourselves of some better times, eh? This was when they came to us last season. Liverpool players are crowding the referee. Headers come in. Right next to him was Adam Smith. They're shouting for VAR. He's going to give it. Ready? Yeah. Yeah, that was back in March last year, mate. Gary O'Neill masterminding a 1-0 win. We had so little possession, but we scored, was it Dango Ouattara laying it back to Phil Billing? And then a certain someone stepped up for a penalty, blazed it wide.
Yeah, it was a really weird penalty. That did feel like a pivotal moment. I know it's easy to say. We had a few big wins that we needed that season, but I think what was... Yeah, it just felt like one of them games we've beaten Liverpool, which is obviously a massive feat for us. And they missed the penalty and you just feel like, we needed this, the rub of the green today. And we kicked on from there. So yeah, it was a big pivotal moment, mate. So yeah, hopefully we can do the same. We've beaten them a couple of times at our place now.
Mo missing a pen against Bournemouth though, that seems to happen. Well, he does miss a lot of pens, by the way. He also missed against us, didn't he, earlier in the season? Alas, he scored the rebound. In some ways, it's a shame he's not playing, isn't it? But he's not the only one that is out though, because Liverpool, they've got a fair few injuries.
Yeah, well obviously they've got a few longer term ones like Bajcetic and Thiago, John Matip's still out, Simicaz, I think Robertson's been out for a while now as well, hasn't he? But it looks like Trent's definitely out, which is, we all know how good he is, and Szoboszlai as well looks like he's definitely going to be missing, which are massive, and then obviously Endo and Salah at AFCON and Asia Cup. So I mean, don't get me wrong, you still look through, I mean, I'll do my kind of predicted 11 later, but you still look through the side and there's a lot of quality and more players would get into our team, etc., because they're Liverpool. But if you're ever going to pick a time to play them at home, when they're without Salah, Szoboszlai, Trent, you're going to pick now. So good little opportunity for us, despite them doing well and being top of the league, to maybe cause a bit of bit of a surprise.
Well, for one, I'm glad that Szoboszlai's not playing, because that penalty he won against Joe Rothwell was probably the weakest pen I've ever seen in my
He's
life.
a top player, though. He is a top player.
He is really good.
Second best Hungarian in the Premier League.
Well, he won't be the second best Hungarian on the pitch at the weekend. Maybe. Is Kirkes available? We don't know. But look, we have got players out as well. And the suspension counts for us. No Marcus Senesi. He got through most of the Spurs game unscathed, and that's all he needed to get through. But then it was a real cynical, stupid foul, and he then clocked up as many yellows as he needed to be out of the next league fixture, which sadly is this one. So defensive changes will be needed, but he's not the only one out. Of course, we've got long-term injuries like Tyler Adams.
I think he's getting closer, though.
He is getting closer as well, but we've also had a couple of departures this week as well, right?
Yeah, Joe Rothwell, who we mentioned there, who gave away the penalty at Anfield, he's gone to them lot, Southampton.
Our friends
It's nice to help him out.
down the road.
It's nice to help him out. Okay, you know what? You know what they always give us grief about is that we're not the proper derby. It's Portsmouth, who are top of League One, by the way.
Yeah.
So we've gone, we don't want you to have that. We'll give you Rothwell, you get you promoted, and you can still not have your proper little derby. Come and have your pathetic one. Come and have your pathetic derby, and we'll do you at your place again. But Joe Rothwell, it's an interesting one, because don't get me wrong, I think Joe Rothwell's a good footballer and he's a very good Championship midfield player. But the way Southampton are playing, I don't see him walking in the team.
No.
So I'm surprised he didn't say, I'd rather go to a team that I'm guaranteed to play. He might help them off the bench and stuff, but I'm not convinced he'll play loads of minutes there, to be honest.
Can I play devil's advocate with you? A lot of people, bigging up Joe Rothwell, saying what a good signing he is. And you know what? He's very solid on the ball. Is he? Is he that good, though? Because when he's been, a player that we think, oh yeah, he'll go in, he's never usually utilised.
No.
And he hadn't had many minutes. He's obviously not having the effect, to Andoni Iraola at least, that he wants to have.
Yeah, I think, don't get me wrong, he's had his injuries and stuff, and he's a good footballer, but I think he's almost, don't want to be disrespectful, but I think people are like, wish him all the best, which is great. But I think people are forgetting that he's been not a very good signing, because since we've got him, as I say, injuries, but, that plays a part because he hasn't been able to play as much. All I can think of is he scored his first goal this season from a free kick that went past everyone against Stoke. He gave away the penalty at Anfield. He assisted Jarrod Bowen in the first game. I don't really think he's done much. And like I say, every time, he's never... If everyone's fit, he's nowhere near the starting lineup. So, listen, I think if he plays, he'll do a decent job in the Championship. But yeah, I kind of expected him potentially to go out on loan, and that would make me think that Tyler Adams is closer, which is good. And you mentioned there was a couple of departures. Hamid Traore.
Yes.
We're loaning players out to Napoli just to help. I mean, we have done that. I know a lot of people are saying this is mental, but do you remember Begovic went on loan to AC Milan once?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So we have done that before, but I just really hope he plays, because it's a real shame for him. Obviously, he had malaria. Sounds like he's recovering, but just a real shame that for AFCON, he would have been in the Ivory Coast squad. They're hosting it, and he's had to miss out on that. Real disappointing for him. So I really hope he goes to Serie A, which obviously he's played in before, and just plays again. I mean, they've got an option to buy, a lot of money, 25 million. If not, if he can play and come back to us, great. But I just want him to go and play football again, hopefully recover from this illness, mate. So that's a positive, I think. I don't think either Traore or Rothwell would have been considered to start in this game anyway. And then go back onto the injury front, Kirkes, we're not sure how far away he is. We're not sure how far away Lloyd Kelly is. At the moment, looks like he's staying with us. And then Fredericks, whatever. Darren Randolph,
He's back
whatever.
on the grass. He's back on the grass. Is he?
Fredericks and Randolph, whatever. And Ouattara and Semenyo are both out in AFCON. Ouattara is obviously still out because he didn't play in the first game for Burkina Faso, but he's out there apparently.
But they did have a Ouattara, didn't they? But not the Ouattara.
Yeah, because I thought he was on the bench, then I realised. Because I think it was DJ Ouattara. I thought that could be Dango, but it's not. But
My stage name like that. DJ
I think really the only, we don't know about Kirkes and Kelly, obviously, but I think the main one is we're going to miss Semenyo, and Liverpool fans will know that because he's brilliant at Anfield, wasn't he?
It won't be easy though, with Liverpool in very good form and on an unbeaten run of 13 games in the league. Here is the form table. Wow. And this is going on the last 10. Bournemouth and Liverpool at the top of the form table, mate. That is certainly good to see.
Unai Emery, manager of the month, though.
Yeah, what was that all about?
It's pathetic.
I'm not too sure.
I'm not having that. It's because they beat... Who did they beat? They beat a few big teams, didn't they? I think they beat Arsenal and City. Did they beat City?
Yeah.
So, because they won a few big games, I think that was in there. But, I wasn't convinced about that. Andoni should have got that. But Solanke got player of the month.
All good. So, with our team now playing, fully adopting the Iraola style of football. It could be a Dean Court ding-dong. I don't think that when we played them at Anfield, we were, the cogs weren't oiled at that point and we weren't fully ready. Look, that was only our, second or third game of the season?
Yeah,
it was very early.
Yeah, like you're saying, there were signs going forward. And I think, weirdly, one of our players that was causing the most problems was James Anthony early in the game, who ended up going out on loan to Leeds. So, yeah, we weren't, obviously, that was during our bad run. But I think I look back at Anfield and go, we were decent and we caused some problems. And like you say, on another day, that penalty's not given, who knows? Yeah. Because we took the lead. But, that was definitely when we were kind of, still not quite there yet, but there were signs. So hopefully we're in a better place. But I think equally, Liverpool were in a better place because they were sorting out their midfield and stuff as well. So, it'd be interesting to see both teams that have come on a little bit since then.
So for last season, Jurgen Klopp, it was his lowest points total as a full season Liverpool manager with 5th place, 67 points. Here's the league table this time round though. And like I said, it's not so much a transitional season. It seems to be a full-on title charge. But can I say something? I don't feel as though they're blowing teams away though, like the Liverpool of old.
I agree, mate. I don't think they've... And I would take that as a positive from a Liverpool point of view, that if I'm a Liverpool fan, I go, we're sat top of the league. I don't think we're quite there yet. And I mean, that's a good play. I think with Jurgen Klopp, I think what he's so good at is that even when they're not, fully functioning, every player seems to come in and know their role. He's very good at getting the best out of players. And I think they always seem to just do enough. And they've almost gone under the radar a little bit. People have gone, City are the best, and Arsenal are going to run them close. And Liverpool just come out of nowhere, and suddenly you're going, hang on a minute, could they? They could. I wouldn't be... It wouldn't be a shock if Liverpool won the league, in my opinion, now. City would still be favourites for me. But, Liverpool running close. And as I say, I think they're only going to get better. But these few little injuries, obviously AFCON as well, it'll be interesting how they come out of that period, because I think Trent's been sensational and obviously Salah always getting the numbers. So being without them, can people like your Nunes step up, and can they still be solid at the back? So, I think this period will be really interesting to see how they get on without them sort of players and show the depth to their squad, because they're in a lot of competition still.
So since we last played them then, we'll check out the results that Liverpool had. Of course, it was a 2-1 win with that Darwin Núñez goal. But from there, it's been pretty good. But it's been a slow builder, really, because the game after that, they dropped points, didn't they? Yeah,
Luton. I remember they scored a late goal. I think it was Diaz. And I was just delighted because at the time, we were really down there with Luton. So I'm glad they got a nicked point. They lost to Toulouse in the Europa League. It's disappointing for them. It didn't really affect them. They were always going to win that group, in my opinion. They got the win over Brentford quite comfortably. Drew at City, but it was a decent game, fair result. Battered, I think it was Linz or whatever they've been called it in the Europa League. Really good game against Fulham.
Made hard work of that though, didn't they?
They did.
But Fulham were good, actually.
Fulham were very good. But I think, again, they were showing that, all right, you score 3, we'll score 4. We've got them levels to go up. Quite comfortable against Sheffield United and Palace, even though the result suggested it was tighter. Lost again in the Europa League, but as I say, they're rotating it. They know they're going to get the job done. The United game was weird.
They absolutely dominated that. They battered.
Yeah, but it was one where all everyone was talking about was how many they're going to win by, and you always felt like, could this be one? And they didn't. They had all the ball, but I was disappointed with them in terms of they were having snapshots and that. And I thought they could have been a bit cleverer.
I wonder if that's a game where, if it gets closer, I mean, it's already closer as we've seen by looking at the table, but if Man City then just go ahead and they'll be looking back at that game thinking, we should have.
Absolutely. And I did think that. And then they played in the League Cup, obviously, after knocking us out, and you thought, they didn't look great against United. And then they went on 5-1, and they go in, all right, we're okay. Decent point against Arsenal. Won at Burnley, beat Newcastle. That was a really good game.
That was one of the highest XGs ever registered in the Premier League.
That's right. Yeah. I remember that actually. And they absolutely battered them. And the win against Arsenal in the Cup was a big statement in my opinion, because Arsenal could have been 3-4 up at half time.
Yeah, okay.
And I always felt watching that game that's the difference. So these two teams are the two that you'd say are going with City. I know Villa are up there, and I don't want to disrespect Villa because they're bloody brilliant. But really, I think it's Liverpool and Arsenal that are trying to knock on the door for the title. And in that game, I thought, Arsenal all over Liverpool here. I fancy Liverpool and nick them. And that's the mentality side of it. I just think Klopp's got over Arteta, and I think Liverpool got over Arsenal, and saw that, and they won the second half. And then in the Carabao Cup against Fulham, they were obviously behind in the game. And I never, even though they weren't playing brilliant, I always thought
It's Liverpool.
they'll come back and win this.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And they feel a little bit inevitable at times, which is a great place to be for them. So, yeah, as you say, mate, they're up the top of that form table with ourselves.
And of course, that was a Salah-less Liverpool.
Yeah.
And we're just looking at their average positions for their past 4 league matches. And you can say, I mean, have you ever seen a more advanced player? Mo Salah, look at that against Newcastle United. That's his average position. That's absolutely crazy. But look, will that be the case against Bournemouth? We know that we like to do that as well with our high-pressing fullbacks. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be an absolute ding-dong. Now, we don't know what's happening. Full disclosure, we don't know whether Lloyd Kelly's back. We don't know whether Curser's going to be back. So we need Chris Mepham in. And look, last week I was invited onto Sheffield United Way to big up Chris Mepham, and I think I did. I think I made him sound like Virgil van Dijk at one stage, but they were salivating at the thought of Meps joining them. We of course don't know what's happening with him, and he needs to play as much football as he can. Rob Page has suggested, not Rob Edwards. I've been talking about it. He's dreamy, by the way.
Oh,
dreamy.
Oh, can we have a moment? Am I? Every time I watch him doing an interview, I think, am I straight? Come on, mate.
So gorgeous.
Gorgeous man.
Rob Page has said that he wants his players to get as many minutes as possible should they qualify for the Euros.
We got 3 of them. We got 3 Welsh players, obviously Matt.
Big players for him
Brooks
as well.
and Moore, who are big players for him, and it wouldn't. And I would almost respect it if they were knocking on the door going, I want to go and play, because it's big for them, represent their country, and they need to be playing football.
But he might be thrown in.
But yeah, Meps might have to. It's going to be really interesting. We've recalled James Hill from Blackburn. That would be a real kind of. If we just chucked him in, that would be that'd be really interesting to see. But as I say, full disclosure, we're not 100% sure who's going to be partnering Zabani really, because we're not sure on Kelly. We're not sure on if Meps is going to stay. We're not sure on if James Hill's going to be chucked in. So obviously Senesi's suspended. So yeah, it'd be interesting with that. But as you say, mate, whether Meps stays with the club, I'll be delighted, because I think he's a good option. But if he goes to Sheffield United, he'll improve him. He's a good footballer, Meps, and he'll always just be reliable when called upon. Unfortunately for him, he's never quite been in the main 2 for us ever since he's been here. But he's liked down there, isn't he?
We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now, we don't have to wait to see what happens when looking at the head-to-heads, because you know what? We've only registered 2 wins against Liverpool, and we know when they were that famous 4-3, of course, and then the 1-0. We have gone to Anfield and got a point, mate.
We have. Was that the 2-2?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think a Phobie scored early. And was it Josh King late?
Yeah, that's right.
Was that the game where Boris made the save?
Yeah, from Nathaniel Klein.
Nathaniel Klein. What a save that was. But yeah, just get that head-to-head off the screen, because when something weirdly happens, I just look at all I can see is 9-0. I can't even see anything else. It's just ingrained in there. So get rid of it, forget that, move on.
Well, look, in all our home games against Liverpool, we've won 2, drawn 0, lost 4 in all competitions. Record is not so good. 1-2, drawn 3, lost 16.
But when you say that's Bournemouth Liverpool, I don't think that's that. Yeah, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Do you want to know who the referee is?
No.
It's Andy Madley.
What does that mean?
He had us for 1 game this season.
Come on.
Sheffield United away.
Take it. We take it. Come on. We'll take that.
What does that even mean?
It means you got a 100% record with Madley. So, what a guy. What a ref.
Right then, let's do teams. Come on.
Ooh.
Right, and 4-2-3-1 for Bournemouth then, mate. And obviously, you know the disclosure. So I've got a feeling that I know what you're going to do, but we'll see. Talk me through it. Yeah,
well, obviously, as you say, mate, it depends on if suddenly someone's available I didn't think was. Neto be in goal regardless. Even though Travis done fine against QPR, Neto will be back in. I think he'll still go Smith, a right back. I know Aarons looks like he's back and ready now, and there was an interesting piece on him in the week where he was talking about how Iraola's made him a completely different player. And I think what's interesting with Aarons, just briefly, is that people forget Iraola's a right back. Something that's really helped him, and it's probably helped Smith. But I think Smith's been brilliant. He'll stay in there. I'm going to go Zabani and Mepham as the centre halves. Just at the moment, from what I know, I think Meps will play this game. And at the moment, assuming Kirkes and Kelly are still not quite back, I'm going to put Tavernier at left back.
Right.
There's an option, even if they're out, of putting Aarons there, but I think Tavernier showed against QPR that he can do his job there.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but I think we've seen with Iraola that he'd rather that offensive attributes, as we saw when he put Ratara there. And I think he'd start to have an ear there and hope that we'd get a lead and then Aarons as an option.
Okay.
I think he'll try that. In terms of the midfield, I'm going to mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to go Cook and Christie as the two.
Right, okay, that's solid.
Yeah, because I'm going to put Scott slightly advanced.
Oh.
So I just think normally he plays kind of a Clivert in there or whatever. I think this might be the game when you try all three of them, because you're playing against a team that, let's be honest, are a lot higher quality than other opponents we've had. And I just think this could be a chance to go, let's see what Scott's like a little bit further forward.
Also not Billing, no?
No, I don't think Billing done enough. Billing was alright actually against QPR, but I just think it might be a chance to see Cook, Christie and Scott as a free.
And that's what you've been wanting, isn't it?
Yeah, and equally, because of the fact that Semenyo and Ouattara are at AFCON, it means that Clivert, who would often play in that 10, might have to go on the right for me.
Okay, right.
Because of having a left back. So it's all a bit of a rejig. So I'm going to put Clivert on the right, and I'm going to bring Sinistera to play on the left. And then obviously it used to be Scouse, Dom Solanke leading the line against his former club. So that'd be an interesting one. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. But there's a few different things that we could do in there. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with, mate.
Do you just before we go on to the Liverpool team, do you think part of a number of Liverpool fans just think, oh, Dom Solanke, if only we held on for a little bit, or not really?
It's a difficult one. I had this on. I was chatting to a Liverpool fan, and I said, "Yeah, I get what you're trying to say now, but would he have got to this level because he would have only been sat on the bench at Liverpool, so he never would have found this form, but he never would have dropped down to the Championship and got his form, blah blah blah." And there is still levels between Bournemouth and Liverpool, and I'm not sure it ever would have worked anyway. Yeah. But they have got that amazing clause. You know what clause they've got?
What?
That we have to pay him more money if he wins the Ballon d'Or.
Serious?
That's a clause in his contract, apparently.
No way.
So they'll be getting some money soon, mate.
When
he wins us the World Cup and the Euros, Jesus.
Right, on to Liverpool.
Yeah.
4-3-3 then, mate.
Yeah, the big man in goal, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper. Actually, I was about to say Premier League, best goalkeeper in the world. For me, I just think Alisson is unrivaled. I think he's unbelievable. So yeah, him in goal. I'm going to put Bradley in at right back. There's a chance they could put a centre half out there. I know Kwanzaa, but I think Bradley done really well against Fulham, and I think they'll give him a go at right back about Trent, Konate and Van Dijk, centre backs are two of your best centre halves in the league, so that's a formidable partnership. Joe Gomez going to have to play left back. That's the only thing, is they're without so many full backs, so Gomez going to have to fit in there. He's done a decent job, but yeah, he'll fit in at left back for me. I think the midfield three speaks for itself, so I think McAllister will probably be the deeper one with Gravenberch and Curtis Jones, who's been playing really well. And my shout to make the England squad, Curtis Jones. I've looked at it lately, and everyone goes, you got Rice, you got Bellingham.
I do like Curtis Jones.
You got Rice and Bellingham. A bit of Calvin Phillips, Jordan Henderson. You're not really sure Conor Gallagher. I think Curtis Jones could get in the next squad.
I think it's really good because in a lot of top sides he wouldn't be trusted, but Klopp's shown him that trust, and he's flourished. He really has. I really like him.
Yeah, no, exactly. Another one that's been doing all right is Harvey Elliott, and he's the one that I think could get in, but I'm going to leave him out of this one because I think they're going to go I think they're going to go Jota. They could go Gakpo. I'm going to go Jota off that right. Nunes.
Is he available, Jota?
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to put him in. So he's back now, I believe. So I'm going to put him on the right, Nunes through the middle, and Luis Diaz, who I really rate. He's going to want to watch down that left-hand side. So yeah, there's a few in there. Gakpo and Harvey Elliott can maybe play, but that's what I'm going to go with, mate. And like I say, even with the injuries, that's still a blooming strong side. And I think we're going to have to look at them full-backs. Just that Gomez isn't a left-back. Bradley's a young lad. We're quite exciting down the wide areas. That's where we have to try and hurt them.
Interesting. So what are your predictions then? Let us know in the comments. Now's the time to write down what you think. See that little line? Just do it. If you don't want to do that and you don't want to go public, just like it. No one sees it when you like a video, but it really helps us, okay? So we'll wait. Thank you. Tom, what's it to be then? What are you going for? You know what? Can I say it? I've got a funny feeling. I got a feeling.
It's Liverpool. They're top of the league.
We are top of the form table with them.
Yeah, they're top of the league. Could we? I think we're going to nick something. I don't know why.
What? When you say something?
I think, I'm not going to go too over, but I think we nick a point. I think it'll be a good game. I'm going to go for a Desmond 2-2.
Ah, okay, you've gone for that. All right, then I'm going to go for a... 3-2 Bournemouth.
No, he's lost his head. He's like, but I'm all here.
I don't want to. Okay, look, my head wants to go 1-1. Heart 3-2 Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Because bravo, we've got Iraola. It's
true.
chaotic, eh?
But I think we'll surprise a few, and I think people, with it being on the telly as well, I think this could be a game where people go, oh, hang on, they are bloody good Bournemouth,
It's going to be, by the way, rainy, it's going to be windy, it's all the conditions that they don't think it's going to be.
We'll see. But
It's not a sunny day down the south coast.
No.
Proper weather.
But every time I think, the way we're playing, the players they've got out, we could surprise them. I do look at kind of the options in attack and think they might catch us a little bit. Because I thought we played well in that Carabao Cup game, and they obviously rotated heavily in that, and they still just have that little edge. And I think you've got to remember, as you talk about our attacking, options and attributes and how we can hurt them, Canate, Van Dijk, Alisson is pretty formidable. Yeah. So it's going to be tough, but I'm going to stay confident, mate, and hope we can nick a point in this one. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to go 2-2, set it with my chest. And, I fancy us. Why not? And I'm going to go with... I'm going to have a bit of a surprise as well. I'm going to go with Solanke, obviously. He's going to score. Zabani header from an Alex Scott corner.
Well, he's lost his head.
Why not?
Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because more content is on the way. Yeah. If we don't see you before then, see you with Dean Court. Look forward to it. Up the charts.
Come on. I think we might win. What is wrong with me? I haven't had a pint in the preview for a while, to be fair.